Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Schuyler Callihan here on Between the Ears. And yes, there is more concern surrounding WVU athletics, as if that hasn't been a theme here over the last year or two. Um, and this time, it's not the coaching. It is, at least as of right now, it's not. It is the man in charge of fixing the current state of the athletic programs or improving it, and that is Wren Baker, as the Columbia Missourian has actually reported, or not reported, but mentioned Wren Baker as a potential hire as the AD at Missouri. And anytime these things start to kind of populate a little bit, you get a little worried, and rightfully so. Especially more so in this case because of Wren's connections to not only the Midwest, but the University of Missouri, where he actually served as the deputy director of athletics. He then went into the interim AD role before moving on to take the job at North Texas. So there is history here. And I think in most of these rumors or mentions of a coach or a player or AD in this case, you can more than likely just dismiss it because a lot of them just they're out of the hat. They're just random. Oh yeah, this guy makes a lot of sense. But again, in this case here, there is that prior connection, and you have to wonder with Wren, is West Virginia really where he wants to be? I get the sense and feeling that he and his family both love it in Morgantown, and they've established themselves here. They feel at home, they feel welcome, and by and large, the fan base loves Ren Baker. I mean, he is become a popular AD in the school, and I don't know how many different places you could probably say that across the country. But he's made a lot of really good decisions in what has been a lot of tough ones as well. He decided to keep Neil Brown. So far, that's paid off. He moved on from Bob Huggins. Bob Huggins moved on from WVU, however you want to phrase it. But he decided that it wasn't the right decision to hire a full-time coach late in the summer. Probably a good idea. Give him another year to kind of assess the situation and see what's out there. Hits on the women's hire for women's basketball. Mark Kellogg, they're like 21-2 or 22-2 or something like that, something crazy. And they're rolling. Hired a very good volleyball coach from the Pac 12 who everyone's excited about. He has a track record for making really good hires, particularly in basketball. And that's why I think it's so critically important that he remains at West Virginia. And my, I guess my early take on it is like, look, he's only been here since November of 2022, or that's when he got the job. His family didn't move to Morgantown until probably, I think it was like the spring or that summer of 2023. So they just moved. They just got settled. The family, or excuse me, his kids have just got moved to new schools. Obviously, that's a tough transition. And they did it from, obviously when he was at Memphis and Missouri and North Texas and all over God's creation. And when you get a Power Five AD job, you probably want to stick there. And I think this is the tough part about it because again, there's that tie. He's always been a Midwest guy. He's always been within arm's reach of Oklahoma, where he's from. And when you have that connection to Missouri, he knows the lay of the land. He knows what it takes to win there in different sports. It makes you start to really think about it. I mean, you look at the football situation there. Eli Drinkwitz has got that thing seemingly turned around and rolling. The basketball team, they're having a pretty down year. They're 8-17. I think 0-12 in conference play, but the coach is in just his second year. Last year, in his first year, they made the tournament. So probably not making a change there. Um, so I don't know that there's overall more stability with the football and basketball jobs, but I'd say they're probably pretty similar. Um, but it's about that familiarity with the place, the location, and whether or not he and his wife and kids want to move closer back to where they're from, even though they just moved. um, I don't think that this is going to be something that really gains a whole lot of legs. But then again, this is early in the process. This was just a list someone threw out there, and it happened to mention Ren Baker. What I'll say for West Virginia side of it, if this does gain some momentum, they've got to do everything they can to keep Ren Baker. Have to. Not just because you're going to be going through a men's basketball coaching search here in the next 3 weeks or so, but what he has done for this university and for this athletic program across the board is remarkable. I mean, they've got an absolute hidden gem, one of the best ADs in college sports that really probably not a whole lot of people know about. And I really think that if he stays in Morgantown, you'll see success across the board from football, men's and women's basketball, baseball, volleyball, soccer. We've already seen the beginning parts of that. And when you have somebody with Ren's background in fundraising and all the plans that they're starting to put together, whether it's for the Club 35 at the Coliseum or the suites or whatever luxury type of seating and situations that they're trying to create, not only at the Coliseum, but also at the football stadium, he's a big part in that. And he knows how to go about selling those things or how to market them. And that's the kicker to me. It's not just the basketball stuff that we're going to be going through here in a few weeks. It's everything else. And it's not to say someone else can't come in here and do it, but he's been here since I wouldn't say necessarily day one of those conversations, but he's been a main driving force in those talks. And that's going to be a hard thing to replace. And again, nailed the Mark Kellogg hire, really good volleyball hire. And just judging on the Kellogg hire and his previous basketball hires at other schools, namely Ben McCollum at North Texas, he's probably going to make a pretty damn good men's basketball hire too. So I don't think as of right now there's a big red sounding alarm right now that WVU fans should be worried. But I would say keep your eye open. Keep your eye open. Something could happen. You can't really rule out anything in today's world, but as of right now, I don't see Wren Baker moving on from West Virginia after a little over a year and a half years of work at WVU. I think he and his family love it here. They feel welcome, like I said. He sees the trajectory of not only just the football program, but he sees the potential in getting the basketball program back on track. The women's program's already well on its way. And everything else is pretty solid. You got a top men's soccer team, a top women's soccer team, a baseball team that's been to the tournament. And, even though they're going to be going through a coaching change, there's going to be stability there. There's a lot of good going on right now at WVU. It may not seem like because of the basketball season, but trust me when I say this athletic program as a whole is in a really good state as of right now. Keeping Ren Baker is a big part in that. So let me know what you guys think in the YouTube comments. Do you think Ren Baker will leave? My vote is no as of right now. Again, that can all change within the matter of days, hours. But as of right now, I don't think it's a big, like I said, a big sounding alarm right now that's going off in Morgantown that, Ren Baker might be on his way out. So Hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Mountaineers Now. Give us a like and a follow on X at the same handle, and that'll do it for me here. We'll be back tonight for the Mountaineers Now post-game show, recapping West Virginia and UCF, and then I'll be back here tomorrow morning for another episode of Between Years.